Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and of course, welcome back to another episode of Blitz Village. Yay! Haven't done one of these in a little while. Sorry, guys, I was really busy. If you didn't know, I had I don't even want to talk about it. I had a family thing, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's why there was no Minecraft episodes for a little while, because I just didn't want to record during those few days. But nonetheless, welcome back to Blitz Village, and first off, of course, let's get to some of the cool submissions. Now, if you don't know, on Twitter, if you go to Blitzwinger or twitter.com/Blitzwinger, you could send me your cool creations, and I always showcase at least, 4 to 5, maybe sometimes more than that, images per episode. So today we've got submissions from Kian Hutchison, who submitted several different designs. Some of them are a little hard to make out just because of the angle, so try to, if you guys submit the image, try to submit from the angle which you want to people to actually see it from. Yeah, just keep that in mind. Next up, we've got Bergapor Rainison, who submitted a smaller image, but you could see, holy smokes, I can't even imagine how long that took to assemble a Stark tower, the Stark mansion from Iron Man, the house that he lives in that, spoiler alert, gets blown up in Iron Man 3. That's pretty crazy. Next up, Safian submitted a very, very cool, awesome, probably one of the coolest looking houses I've ever seen in Minecraft, and that was kind of almost like a Japanese type house. That looks really, really awesome, so nicely done on you. Really great design there, really, really well done, and good job overall, just a great design by you. And he said that this took him 2 months to put together, which is insane. And after that, we've got Michael Castigliola, who submitted a peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. And he submitted the banana that sings that song, which is pretty awesome. And finally, Alice313 submitted an awesome design of Blitzwinger, of course, the little robot, looking pretty cool in nighttime, very, very cool and lit up, and just a great little design there as well. So nicely done. Thank you so much for all your awesome submissions, and of course, keep them coming, guys. And yeah, let's get into today's episode. So initially, the idea was to do the wall episode. However, not a lot of people submitted questions, because I think not a lot of people watched all the way to the end. Which is a little, not frustrating or anything, but the idea was to just build up the wall. Remember how I want to have a wall surrounding the entire Blitz Village, so something going probably around, all the way around that little island, like so. So we have different terrains, but instead what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building a zoo. I almost sounded like I said we bought a zoo, like that movie with, what's the guy's name? Matt Damon, I think, is the guy's name. So today's people who suggested a zoo, remember, this is not all the people. I pick out a random from different sections, from different comment sections, so that everybody gets a chance to get a shout out. So first off, we've got Bob Billings. Next up, Margaret Latona, I believe. Binny Games, Suli, Dean Friedman, Arish Barhari. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, really, I apologize. And finally, Bob Marshall. So it is those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people who were chosen to get a shout out to, of course, showcase a zoo. So for a zoo, that is going to be quite a project indeed, because we've got quite a bit of things that we would need to set up, don't we? And we got to first probably decide on placement. Where do we put a zoo? I want to leave this space for a town hall or something like that, like right in the middle. So that's the idea there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably set the zoo a little bit off. Maybe somewhere around here would be a pretty good idea, right? So it won't be too far, but it won't be too close either. So we'll have some water area, right? So we could guard that off as well. And let's see. Do we want to start with the fence and just have... Okay, so you know what? Let's just have let's build up... A zoo's going to take a while. I'm certain of that, because it's going to be quite an extensive project. So what we probably should do instead of doing this is, first off, decide the layout. So let's fly on up for a second and think about this. Okay, so we could have kind of a water area here and here, right? So I'll barricade all that off. And then we could have kind of the zoo going on over here. So then that would mean that the entrance should be somewhere right here. right around here would be a good spot, a good location for an entrance, right? And yeah, okay, so let's start building up, shall we? So I think what we should do is kind of have our gate. That's what we need to build up first, right? Where you would typically be, you know, you pay the ticket price and everything, and then you would go in. So it's going to be a little bit of a strange look here, but hopefully it'll look decent at the end. And this is definitely going to be a project that requires quite a bit of time, because I'm certain that it's going to be not easy to build up a zoo, especially a decent sized one. That's going to be a couple of episodes long. So for that, guys, you could always, of course, submit also comments in the comment section below, questions in order to participate, so that we have interactivity throughout the episode anyway. So yeah, post your questions, basically. That's the lesson of the day. For now, let me just make these little glass separators, I guess. And what I'm gonna do is whoops. Come on. No, I didn't want to fall in. I did not want to fall in, I said. Alright, so the idea behind this thing, well, first off, I should have probably opened this up. Is this a villager? Okay, there we go. So there's our employee. He will hang out over there. And then we will do the same thing here. So we'll have basically two cash register people, right? They will be the ones who greet you and say, hey, yeah, which kind of ticket would you like to purchase for a kid, for an adult, blah, 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 and stuff like that. Speaking of which, I remember an awkward situation once with a shorter person. It wasn't a person who was like had a height deficiency or anything like that. It was just a shorter person, and this one girl that I used to work with, she was like, oh, so how many tickets for kids? And he was like, I'm not a kid. And it was a really, really awkward situation. I was like, that must feel strange for you. So there we go. It looks almost like a jail, I know, but that's not what we were going for, of course. Okay, so then let's have, I guess, kind of the actual entrance would be through here, right? So you would walk up, get your ticket, and then you get to walk on in. And we will use the fence and other materials to kind of surround the wall so that you can't enter. In theory, you can't enter without purchasing a ticket, of course. Okay, so let me just place this here. Now, the nice thing about doing the zoo is that it can be very, very natural in terms of, like, you don't need to lay a lot of pavement down. We will definitely need for, like, the roads and stuff, but a lot of the natural areas for the animals, the natural habitats, don't have to be particularly, you know, too much actual industrialization happening. So that's nice. So we could keep it kind of raw looking. Okay, so that looks pretty decent. Again, don't forget, it's going to take time, so it's not a quick project. It's going to require definitely some time to get this right. So we will fence this entire area off like so, and we will bring the fence down and just keep it running, just so that we could kind of, you know, get our foundation together, because that's the thing about Minecraft. A lot of people ask me, oh, how do you decide this? How do you decide to build that? Honestly, I am not a good builder. As you could see, I mean, at the beginning of the episode, I showcased people who are amazing at this. Like, absolutely beautiful buildings, just a great design, and a lot of hard work goes into these projects by these people. So what I do is I usually just go, the number one thing that I would recommend is just get the foundation straight, because if you know what you're doing from a foundation standpoint, then that makes things a heck of a lot easier to decide on design. Because once you've got, you know, your area decided on, you know where you're going, you know where up to which point you want to build up this particular thing you're building, it makes things a heck of a lot easier to actually take care of. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is, whoops-a-daisy, build this up, build that up. We'll finish the fence in just a moment, just so, again, I could decide up to which point I want this fence to be going. Whoops. There we go. And like so. So then, what we want to do is, of course, also barricade some of this water, because we want to have a area where you know, we will have creatures swimming and stuff. So what I think would be kind of cool is to use the glass. I don't even know if we could do that. Oh, yes we can. Indeed. That looks awesome, actually. I like the way that looks. So that's what we shall do then. We shall use the glass to create a separation, and then we continue the fence into the water as well, right? So for now, lay the glass as a foundation. I think that will be a big enough chunk of water that would make sense for us. Okay. And of course, this all will have to be brought down all the way down. Holy smokes, listen to this. Isn't that cool how you could hear the rain hitting the water? I don't know, it's just a very cool sound. Okay, so we're gonna, whoops, break that. And then just, oh my god, it looks like the water is splitting in half. Oh my goodness, that looks crazy. So we're just gonna build this up for now, build it up, and hop on up here. And get up here, because of course we don't want the animals to be escaping too. Once we put some octopuses into here, we don't want them to be running away from us, do we? Okay, but I think overall that would look really cool, because it'll have kind of like this surreal look from the outside, you know what I mean? Like, you see that? That looks kind of neato, doesn't it? So that'll be the idea. And then of course here we will just continue to have the fence. So the fence will just keep going through this entire area, like so, right? Just going. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. I love how the water just kind of like surrounds the block. That is so cool. That is a cool effect, man. I like that. That is a very, very neato effect. But yeah, the idea is that, of course, we're just using the fence as a guard. So let's see how that looks with the glass up front. Ooh, that looks nice, doesn't it? Huh? That looks very, very cool. I really like that. Okay, cool. That's very, very nice. Okay, so now I should be able to just build that up. Come on. Come on. Come on. I like it. Come on. I can't believe I just sang that song. Look at that. It's floating in the water. That is so cool. I love that effect. It's because of the pixely part. Come on. There we go. Perfect. Oh yeah, by the way, one other thing that I forgot to ask you guys at the beginning of the episode. There's this brand new game called Cube World. And a lot of you guys have asked me to play it, and I was wondering if you guys would be interested. Like, and the reason why I'm asking it on a Minecraft episode is because, of course, Cube World is very, very similar, from what I could tell, to Minecraft in terms of just I like graphical design and things like that. Very, very similar stuff. So I just was wondering if you guys would be interested in seeing something like that. And if so, let me know in the comment section below what you find different about Cube World and why it's awesome, etc. Just so that I get a little bit more knowledge base from you guys, because I trust you guys. So again, leave me suggestions on whether or not you would like to see that actually happen. So let's see what this looks like. Okay, that looks fantastic. That looks really cool. And there we go. So the fence will just keep going down a little bit over there, and we will do the same on this side, of course. Gonna keep it 2 pieces high, like so. So you cannot enter on this side, and we will run the fence along this border as well. And that will be basically kind of our separator. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to not run it too heavily down, because now that I think about it, like, I don't want to make a ginormous zoo, because if we do that, we'll take up so much land just for a zoo that will be crazy. But I think maybe like up to like this cactus right here. So let's put a limit. Let's say up to this little plant here. It was waiting. It was like, oh, use me as the ending point. There we go. So this is where the zoo is going to go up to that point right there. And of course, there's going to be a water area. There's going to be regular animal areas as well. So that will be really, really cool as well. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do, I can't even speak. I sound like a turkey. But nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. And I know you could say, well, we didn't extensively set up a lot. In fact, we did a lot of work that requires a lot of time consumption. So we have the basic foundation laid out, and definitely going to be a longer form of episodes now because of the fact that we need to build a zoo, and it's going to take a while. So what I'm going to do is in between episodes, I'll probably build up the fence because that stuff will take a long time. So I'll try to just slowly but surely continue to build up the fence, and then on the episodes we will do the inside work. Like we'll have pavement running from those steps and stuff like that, leading you to kind of like, one cell, or not cell, that sounds really mean, from one cage, and that sounds really mean too, from one habitat to another, to another, to another. So that being said, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please give it a like rating. That really does help me out a ton, guys. Of course, also subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button to not miss out on all the content that goes up on the Blitzwinger channel. Thank you guys so much for the amazing support on the Blitz Village episodes, the Blitzcraft episodes, which are coming as well. Again, just didn't really want to record as of late. I just want to keep that private as to why. But nonetheless, have a great day, guys, and I'll catch you guys next time, and see you laters.